I'm looking today at Psalm 49. I'm going to read some of that psalm right now. Listen to this, all you people. Pay attention, everyone in the world, high and low, rich and poor. Listen, for my words are wise and my thoughts are filled with insight. I listen carefully to many proverbs and solve riddles with inspiration from a harp. The psalmists here, in this case, the descendants of Korah, are talking about addressing every level of society. And that's one of the amazing things with the Bible, is that it's not just written for one particular group of people. It starts with a narrative, a story, from individuals, from a family, from a clan, from a nation, but it also crosses the breadth of human society, and it also speaks into the lives of people from every strata of society, every background, every context. And so there's a call here in this psalm for all of them to listen. And it's easy sometimes at certain points in our life to perhaps be listening to God and be receptive. It's easy perhaps for certain types of people, maybe those in great need, maybe those in a very low position in life and with not many opportunities. It's easier for them to be seeking spiritual comfort and help. But actually, the challenge of this psalm is that everybody needs to be hearing this message. And what's the message that's coming across through the psalm? Well, it's clear, it's wisdom and insight, carefully thought through words, which is going to actually sort of get across with music as well. And then it goes on in verse 6. They trust in their wealth and boast of great riches, yet they cannot redeem themselves from death by paying a ransom to God. Redemption does not come so easily, for no one can ever pay enough to live forever and never see the grave. It's trying to get across the point of how wealth, so it's including the rich people, it's including those who have everything, it's including those who feel fairly comfortable economically. It's getting the point that wealth itself is not enough to save us, to protect us. It's not an insurance spiritually. It's not an insurance policy for eternal things. And actually, there's quite a lot of emphasis as we go on through the psalm, particularly from verse 13 and onwards. It talks about, people who are great, people who seem to have everything, and yet, it all sort of spoils, it all fades, it all it all sort of crumbles. None of it lasts, and great names and important people and influential people don't last. We might not think of them as great political heroes these days, but maybe influencers, maybe people who are celebrities, maybe people who are very much in the public eye, or perhaps who have a great following on social media. Those who maybe have a power in society, whose name carries some weight, who are looked up to, who have a lot said about them, who are always being the focus of attention, and always making grand statements about anything and everything on their Twitter page. These are the people that this psalm is addressing. You might have a great Twitter following. You might have a headline every time you say something, and you're always saying the most current comment about every matter, so that you're seen to be a person of great influence and weighty statements that you sort of whack out there on your iPhone, etc. But all these people, their iPhone won't be with them in eternity. Their Twitter account will be finished. They won't be in a place where people are always trying to grab a picture of them and put that round everywhere on the internet. the people with influence are not going to have an eternal stake in and of itself. They need to be in the right place with God. They need to understand where they stand with God. That's the insight. That's the wisdom. That's the proverb of wisdom that's being put out here, and that's what's important. That eternity matters, and all the other things will quickly fade away. So I pray that our hearts will be drawn, pointed, and orientated towards eternity, and we would get things in the right perspective.